morning and welcome to an introduction to using PowToon. We're just going to watch a portion of Judah Krug, who some of you know. He made a science presentation using his PowToon, and so I just wanted to show you guys that presentation really quickly. Here we go. Okay, I'm actually going to pause it here because the video is pretty long. I don't make you watch the whole thing, but you kind of get a sense of, you can put a lot of information into this one presentation and you get a sense of it's a little more interactive than maybe just the standard PowerPoint presentation, which is a little more entertaining for your audience, namely Miss Mac. So that's our dashboard. He's kind of been working on a whole bunch of different PowToons, and so when you have your own account, it all gets stored in your own dashboard. So there's two ways you can make your PowToon. You can start from scratch, or you can make a customized PowToon. When you make a customized, you have these templates. There's lots of them. The ones that you can use and have access to are the ones without the banners on them. So in order to use some of these ones that say business or pro or educational, you actually need the upgrade, but there's lots that you can use for free. Some of the upgrades are pretty cute though, like they have this book report that you can use, which is pretty fun. It's a neat way to use your presentation. So, and it's a little different, right? Maybe rather than writing an essay, it's just kind of a cute way to document what you know. And so you can see like book title here is in brackets. So the things that are in brackets are the things that you will put your information into. So it's an easy way to use these standard ones, but the presentation Judah used, he started from scratch, which is, I would imagine, what you guys will end up doing. And there's lots of these ones too, right? You can, depending on what kind of presentation you're doing, you're going to want to use a different type of PowToon. This one's a little bit more formal. You can put in your own photographs, you can write your own text in there. If you're doing some sort of art project, that might be a good one. If you're communicating some more informative stuff, you know, something like this Mission Impossible one might be kind of fun. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because you guys actually have access to this information already. It's just found on PowToon.com. You can go up there, you can check these all out. There's tons of them. You can just kind of click through them like we did. The one that Judy used is called the paper cut style. So we're just actually today going to do another PowToon with the paper cut style, and then I can give you a really good sense of how to go through things. So my biggest recommendation to everyone, and I'm sure Miss Mac tells you this all the time, is make a really good outline. Just like you would for a PowerPoint slides, your communication will be a lot more effective if you know what you want to do. And PowToon, like the one Judah did, when you have lots of things moving in and out, which isn't too hard to do, it is a little bit tricky to correct later and to undo some of those things. So it's really smart to have a bit of an outline, do it in Word because there is no spell check in PowToon. And then you can just cut and paste your information in. So when you're looking at these, my first recommendation would be to name it so that you can save everything right away always. You never lose your stuff. On the side here are all the different things that you have accessible to you. So like we've seen Judah's animated character, we saw this little guy here. When you hover over him, he can walk, sleep. When he's broke, he's pulling out his little pockets, push, pull. And as you hover over him, he'll do the things that he does, right? So you can play with those characters and pop them in and out if you need them. Maybe we'll start with a background. So you have lots of stuff accessible to you. This is a bit of what we've already seen. There's gradients in all different colors. Let's pick something fun. Solid backgrounds, you can flip through and you just click on whatever you want and it shows up. So you can see on slide 1 over here on the side that your slide's going to start out looking like that. So we want to add some text on top of our slide. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Just double click and then you can edit. So I'm just going to take this out. I'm going to go to my outline in my Word document, cut my good morning, and paste it in. Now, once you've got that, you can switch the color. You can switch the font size. You can switch the font. And as soon as you hit apply, there you go. Now this is just a little bit similar to your PowerPoint in that you can just adjust these little boxes and move these little boxes and it will move everything for you. So let's add another little bit of text here so I can show you a few different kind of fun things. We'll go back to our Word document. Welcome to YMT5. So it's kind of fun because you've got a lot of options here, right? You can pick and choose from tons of different fonts. And it's kind of fun to play with a lot of these things on the same page too, because then you can sort of break up your information a little bit. So as you want to do text effects, like you saw in Judah's, this is just plain text. It comes up just standard, right? This is, you saw the little handwriting guy, word by word. So these are the bouncing letters. We've got the rolling letters, which come in one at a time, so it takes a little while. And this just scrolls through. So let's just, for the sake of something different, let's use these ones. And so oops. And you can move these as much or as little as you want. So now you can see down here, this is our time. So this slide has 10 seconds in it right now. This first text box is your good morning. This second text box is welcome to IMT5. Sorry, I don't know where I got the 5 from. Welcome to IMT. So this text of good morning will be there at point 0 of your slide. So it will show up right away. Now, 1 second in, you're going to have these letters. If you want to delay that a little bit, you can actually move this line over. You can move it as far as you want. Now, good morning, welcome to IMT5. 10 seconds is a very long time to sit there and look at that one slide because you don't have to read very much. So for this particular slide, we're going to want to just take some of the seconds off. So you're smart, all of you can read that really quick. And there, we can finish our first slide off just like that. We're going to add another slide. And for this slide, let's do something different. So we can pick a new background. You can keep the same background through the whole thing, or you can have a different background for every slide if you'd like. This time, let's upload a picture image. I have this beautiful picture of Miss Mac that I'd like to use that I got off the internet. And I'm going to insert that image in as my, if you need to alter the image, you can use this. I'm going to insert that image as the background for my next slide. And then with the text, double click to edit. We are going to just be able to write right on top of that slide. So I'm going to go back to my, this is our teacher. I'm going to pull this out. Now, if you want to create some emphasis, you can have different effects coming out right away. So if I was going to use something like this, sorry, I just wanted to use blue just because I like having lots of variety. I think it's fun. I could just use a plain text and it comes in and this all shows up right at the beginning. And we'll stick it down here. It shows up right at the beginning. And then I want to use her name and I want to create some emphasis. So I'll make another text box. And maybe we want to write it this time. Now, I know I'm being a little bit silly because I know how to spell Miss Mac, but I'm just trying to make a point. Especially when you're using things like science terms and things, you really want to make sure that you have those spelled right. So use Word. All right. Oops. All right, so that's what our slide's going to look like. So when it shows up, we can see it's 0. We've got our standard stuff, and the handwriting's going to happen 1 second in. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take for that handwriting to finish, so I would like to say, oh, it's going to, I know I'm not going to need 10 seconds for the slide, so I'm just backing up the cursor to 0, and then I can press this play button, and it will show me. So it goes pretty fast. So maybe actually, honestly, the hand's not the right one to use because it looks a little bit funny because it's not quite enough to see the real effect, right? So we're going to double click on this again, and then I can switch it. Maybe by switching the color too, we can add a little bit more emphasis. Let's see if we like that better. Yeah. All right, so we know that like maybe here around 4 seconds, we're probably good. All right. So now that we have 2 slides, you can see that there's this little button in the middle, and it says no transition. So I don't know if you noticed with Judah's slide, there was a transition between every slide. So when you click on this, you've got all sorts of, it'll show you exactly what it looks like through the difference between the slides. There's spirals, fans, camera up, right? These ones are really fun. They are Judah's favorite. So let's use one. All right. So now we've got poof transition. We're going to move on to the next slide. Add one more. Let me just look at my note here. Oh,